I started the recording. Good morning, everybody, and welcome this morning for the onboarding call. A lot of our team are in the event that we are having here in Texas. As I said before, I couldn't go because we have the celebration of life, a funeral of one of our friends in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That's why we couldn't go. His wife has been staying with us. My wife is helping her right now with the preparation. We were good friends. We met them when my kids were in elementary school when we moved here to Texas. One of they had twins like us, but they have a boy and a girl. We had the two girls. They met in elementary school and they became best friends. And of course, now they are in college. And that's why I have my Boston hat because he was a Red Sox fan. I said before he was from Boston and they moved from Boston. Actually, they were living in Cape Cod before they moved here to Austin, Texas. He was an attorney. Um, anyway, and we are doing the celebration of his life. Of course, it's hard to be excited and happy when I mean, because we were not expecting that. But anyway, okay, let's start it here. I'm super excited about going through through all the onboarding. The reason we do this every other week is because we have to make sure that you know where the tools are and how to start. Adrian does it one time. I do it myself. We have other people that are going to be working on, like Tracy Economy did the pay plan last week. She had we have like to have different people presenting everything because everybody has a different point of view. And sometimes you don't see the point of view or just because repetition from different people. Sometimes you get things that you say, whoa, I just realized that, or I just understand that. That happened. We were working with somebody on the pay plan, and this person suddenly said, well, stop. And they said, what happened? I got it. I got it because she was coming from a pay plan that was totally different. It was a breakaway. She was thinking like the old plan, the plan that she has in the other company. And as soon as she said, you know what I did? I did like if I was not in another company at all, that I was starting from zero. I changed my mindset. I came with that idea when I came with the call today, and I got it. I got it. I got it. And the reason I say that because many times when we learn something, for I was a very I was in martial arts and I followed Bruce Lee years ago. Obviously, you probably remember who Bruce Lee was. One of the things that he said is that when you want to learn something new, you have to empty the glass of water from the old knowledge. And he put it that old knowledge. He had a Coke on the glass, and he emptied the one and said, "Now we are going to put fresh knowledge." And he put water. And that's on everything. And when we're learning something new, if we want to learn fast, we have to make sure that we our mindset is like something totally new. That's why kids learn so fast because they don't have the knowledge from the past. And for them, it's very easy to learn a language, very easy to learn so many things when they are little. But then, with the older they get, the harder it gets because they have all those knowledges on the past that you try to compare with. That doesn't mean that adults cannot learn fast. We can, as long as we have we have the right mainframe, I would say, in our mind, or the right mindset. And one of them is get rid of the old. And I do that all the time, especially because I love technology. And when I went to school at college, it was in the late 70s, early 80s, late in the 70s, yeah, late 70s. Holy cow, I know. I graduated in computer systems. And of course, when I learned the new concepts, everything's so different. And even when I was working with my daughters in math, when they were in the school, the math, the way that is taught today is totally different what I learned the math when I was a kid. And when they were coming up with the problems, were really a problem for me. And I found an academy on the internet, I think it's called Khan Academy, that they have all the subjects through from basically second grade, third grade, all the way to high school, even college they have now. And I started learning the new math. And at first, it couldn't get in my head until I said, okay, I'm going to work like a kid. I'm learning new. And then I got it. And then I was helping my kids with the math problems. That's the I was not hard because I understood the process. It's just I mean the end result. That's just I didn't understand why they have to use the process. I thought it was too complicated. Why they don't do the simple one? But anyway, that's the same when we are learning the business now. Always we had to fight our old paradigms. Paradigms are ways of thinking that's stopping us. Years ago, when I was in the company, in the first company, I have a huge organization. We got over 50,000 people. That was before I got into a company where we earn over $1 million. One of my uplines, that was interesting. I learned from him. He was a psychologist, and he wrote a book. I think it was called The Glass Ceiling. I don't remember, but he talks about the glass ceiling, and the glass ceiling means is the belief that we have, and as soon as we hit that glass ceiling, is if we stop growing. But if we hit hard enough, it's going to break that glass ceiling, and we are going to keep growing. And he said, everybody has a glass ceiling. Even the richest person in the world has a glass ceiling that they always are breaking every day. When you learn that that glass can be broken, we can reach any goal in anything, in learning, etc. One of one of my coaches years ago, the guy was he was a very, very incredible guy in the sense that when he was 79, realized that, you know what, there are a lot of things that I have not learned in my life. And he said, I have to do something. And then he learned how to become a photographer. He would become so good at 79 as a photographer that then his works start being published in different museums, his photography. And he said, well, if I can do that, I wonder if I can paint. Well, he paints all over the world. And he was 79 when he started. At 81, one of the people, he was also a great motivator, etc. And somebody said, why don't you start using the internet to promote your business? I said, the internet? I don't have a clue. I barely know how to send an email. And then he said, you know what? Instead of hiring somebody, I want to learn it because I want to show that all dogs learn that we are not dogs. That's what he said. The dogs are the ones that don't learn new tricks, but we are people. And he became one of the top internet marketers in the world when he was 81. And he was not doing it for the money. He lived a very simple life in Arizona, in the desert in Arizona, a nice house. So he didn't have a mansion, even that he was earning 7 or 8 figures per year. But he said, I was always challenging myself on becoming better. And that's why I always believe that we can reach goals that we didn't even think about right now. And the best example probably would be the person that was my sponsor in the company where we earned $1 million. He was 75. He was coming from a bankruptcy. I don't know if any of you know him, but his name is Jimmy Smith. He's 95. He's going to be 96. But anyway, he was 75 when he started the business. They wanted to put him in a home. His family wanted to put him in a home because they thought he was losing his mind, saying that one day he was going to earn $1 million a year. As a matter of fact, they took to a psychologist and he tried to sponsor the psychologist in the company. And the psychologist said they were trying to see how they put him in a home. But then he started doing the business. He signed up his daughters against their will. As a matter of fact, one of them called the company, I ain't going to cancel. And the person in the company said, well, talk to your dad. And she decided not to cancel. And she probably is glad that she didn't cancel because she helped her to build the 2 legs, and she made over $1 million a year eventually. And this guy so far up to now has earned over $100 million. And it started at 75. Now, many people say, well, probably he was a financial genius. He was a butcher for many, many years. And he didn't finish high school. Man, he's still learning about motivation because somebody gave him a recording of Earl Nightingale called The Strangest Secret. If you can find that recording, it's amazing. It's called The Strangest Secret. And I love it because I love the voice of Earl Nightingale. It's, hello, my name is Earl. And it's incredible. The Strangest Secret, I have it in my phone. And then he was introduced to Think and Grow Rich. And what's interesting, because when you talk to him, let's suppose that you were talking of chapter 7 or about, for example, chapter about, how do you call it, masterminds. he could recite every line. He's still today. Because he said, whoa, all these stories, one day I'm going to make $1 million. Why his family thought he was crazy. I was sitting in a table with him in the company where we were before he made $1 million. That was the company before. And he told me, he started talking about all the things that he was going to do when he made $1 million. And the table cleared up thinking that he was crazy. And the only one that stayed was me because I was dreaming too. I was, oh yeah, that's so cool. And one day he hit it and then more than that. But anyway, and the reason I'm starting with this a little different from the other one is because everything that we want to learn, we are going to learn it. It's just that we have to clear up the old thoughts. Sometimes people say, you know what, I know as fast thinking as I used to be. Sometimes because we are rethinking everything. And every time we are going to learn something, we rethink too many things from the past. We have to clear that. And of course, the help also. And by the way, it's interesting. Every time we are, there's a video, a movie that was called "What the Bleep We Know." That's the way that the movie, "What the Bleep We Know." And one of the things that they say, the scientists say that every time you are learning something new, you are creating new connections. And that's one of the great, one of the theories or one of the scientists there is when you are consistently learning, then many illnesses that are mental illnesses don't come because you are creating all those connections. And they don't know exactly how it works, at least in that video say, but they know they work because they can measure it. And that's why, and by the way, I apply to kids too. It's interesting because kids many times they think they know everything and they stop learning. And some kids keep growing, but many kids, or many people, probably people that you knew that were in high school with you, they still think like that when they were in high school. And these people that were with you in high school 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, because it happened to me when I connected with people on the internet. And I say, well, that's one of the reasons they are sick, they are broke, because they're thinking the same way that they were thinking when they were in high school with me. It's interesting because when people see my picture, they say, come on, you did plastic surgery yourself, because I'm 71, and they have a hard time believing that I'm 71. But the reason is because the mindset. I think, of course, what I eat, and I don't eat perfect because I like once in a while a pizza or a burger or anything like that. But in general, with a balance, the thinking is so important. The way that we think, the way that that's the reason we can maintain ourselves very, very bright. And that's the case of Jimmy. When I call Jimmy, that again, he's going to be, I think he's 96. He's as sharp as 10, 15, 20 years ago. And we tell stories and he remember all the stories. Remember, George, when we did that? Because he was broke. I remember that. Now, I started, that was a long introduction, 50 minutes. Anyway, let's go to this. All right. Okay, let me close this window. Okay, there it is, ourlegacymakers.com. We created this site is not only for a way to you to start, but as a reference, because you can get so much information here. And by the way, yesterday we signed up some people that are bilingual in Naples when we were in Florida, and they actually signed up 2 days ago, two of them. And they are bilingual, and they say, okay, how can we talk to people that also speak Spanish, for example? And then I told him, then click here in languages, and then you look for your language. You see, I think doesn't matter what person you meet, you're going to find probably the language there. It's a rare chance that you are not going to find something there. And you see, we just changed it to Spanish. Okay, and let me get it back. All right, into English. I think the way to do it is this way. Okay, got it. All right. Okay. Now, this is as a reference, first of all, for you and for anybody when it's starting out, because first, how to get started, and then we have the checklist. Now, I like to send this to new people too. Is the welcome letter from our team. People, you can copy it and send it to people. And basically what has it, the first links, the back office, etc. The basic thing, how to download the app, etc. It's the basics. And that way they are prepared when we are talking to them 24 hours later. Because I like 24 hours later meet with them and go to their goals and go through again through the basics and then to make a list of the first people that we are going to connect. Here is in order because the same that in the letter, you say, okay, make sure you set up your smart ship, make sure you get your app. And the app, by the way, is becoming one of the most important parts of our business. As a matter of fact, I talked yesterday to the developers. The thing that they're working for the next 90 days or before convention, they are adding so much stuff uh, that already the way that it's now is almost like your business on your app, and you are going to have access also from your computer. And they already have a desktop, but it's right now they are testing it. But it's amazing. But anyway, but right now you can go to the app, to Store App Store or Google Play Store, and then you can download the app. And we are going to talk about that in a few minutes. But I just want to make sure that you know where everything is. Now, then showed you a Shout Team community, and that's where we have different announcements, etc. We are going to be in the process, and probably in May, we are going to start redoing the whole thing to make it even. We are not doing it now because we are working in the simplicity of the website, but everything that you find in the Shout community is going to be found here. With the back office tour, because it's important for people, although I do it with them in person too, by the way. But if for some reason somebody come in and the upline doesn't know what he or she is doing, they can go here and then they can do the back office access, how to access the back office, how to set up their account for being paid, etc. As you see, it's done on purpose, like a step by step, very simple. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay. For some reason, I don't see myself now. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. Now, let me close this window. I don't want to have too many windows open. All right. And then the product education is, well, how to set up your Tree wallet, of course, because you want to know how to get paid. And then the product education, and something that we want to make sure we understand, you don't have to learn about the product. You are going to use the tools. This is mostly for your education. And if a person wants to have more information, you can always send a link from here or from your app, because most of the information that we have here is also on the app. The product information. This one we are uploading. We have already uploaded one that you can actually send to your people. Send on the app, and we tell you in a second how you can access that. We have the presentation that, well, all this, by the way, is in the app. And the reason I prefer to use the app, because you know when the person is watching the video, if they are watching the video on collagen or Vitalite, etc. But still, it's good to have it here because you know where information is. And I like to have information in different places because in that way it's easy to find, because especially when we are new, sometimes we feel overwhelmed. Where was the product information? I forgot. Well, that's why it's on the first page of this. And the business training, and we're going to go into this in a few minutes too, is the steps to start building your business. Now, all this I cover with the person when I am face to face, and I'm going to do it with you, like if I am just with you one-on-one right now, and we are going to go through that. But anyway, these are the basics. And a person can start with this. A person that is on his or her own, they said, you know what, I don't know who my uplines are. Or my upline disappeared. Or, gosh, I need more information to start. You can come back here and always have the information. And of course, the team calendar. And then here show all the events that are happening. And this is live because in the sense that you click, for example, this is March, okay. Here, you even have Dr. Dan event that he has. I think was this week actually. He was there. The different events that are happening around the country and the calls that we have in the morning, etc. When you click there, the information is there with the link to the Zoom. In other words, everything is there. It's linkable. Now, I'm gonna go up a second for where it say business training. Okay, I like to go to the here to bottom where they say additional recruiting scripts or how to launch an invite. And that way you have the scripts that you can start working with them. Script for success now. You start learning to all the scripts. I like the connecting scripts. Eden was talking yesterday about social media, about the connecting scripts, because you know how to connect with people online. We are going to do something with the social media script. By the way, social media scripts also can be used on face to face. I'm doing like something that I did in the company before, where I have per categories the social media scripts. We are going to be doing it here, because social media is a powerful way to connect people. And I'm going to talk about a little about that before. Adrian did an amazing training Friday about that. But anyway, let me go back. And where did I find this? Remember, business training. The professional program is when we are dealing with health professionals, doctors, etc. And I'm not going to go in details that, but that's is when you are dealing with doctors, etc. The getting started is the first page. It's the page where you go when you go to the legacymakers.com. Business resources. Okay, the business resources, for example, you want to download the presentation, you can download it here. You can download the order form, the tracking forms. Everything is here, everything that you need. Tracking form is very important. Adrian was talking about the tracking form because this is the way that we track our business. The reason this is so darn important is because any business, doesn't matter what business you are, or even when you're working for a job, it depends, especially your job description, you have to keep a track of everything, how it's going, because that's the way that you know where you are falling short or what you can improve or what you are doing well. And that's why we have these tracking shorts, forms. The first one is your list of people. The second one, the daily practice that you're doing. And this one is actually the goal setting. The goal setting, what I mean, this is a form, and we have to, the old form came up. Where's the new one? Oh, it's weird. The old one is coming. But anyway, the old one or the new one still work. Oh, here it came. That's weird. Okay, it's the old one and the new one. They are the same thing. It's just that the new one is nicer set up. I didn't design this one. The other one was designed by somebody else. But anyway, here you have all the 30 names of people that you are connecting with. It could be in a month, every 2 weeks, or in a week. The idea that from these 30 people, by the way, how do you get these names here? Who do you know? This is like something that's going to help you to remember people. Then you write 30 here that you're going to connect. 15 may take a look at the company. And when 15 people take a look at the company from warm market, and now cold market, the numbers change. The numbers not as good. Usually for every 3 people that see a full presentation, 1 is going to sign up. And that's why you can do it per month, etc., per week, etc. But the idea is to be consistent on the action. If, for example, somebody call you one day and say, no, the business is not working, or my business is not working, ask the person, show me your tracking sheets or your tracking form. And you are going to see here if the person is actually connecting with people. Because most of the time, the great majority of time, when people are not having success, is because they are not connecting with enough people. Or the second one, they are doing everything on their own. It's why it's so important to do 3-way calls and get people to the tools. Because some people, it's so easy to get in that they think that just calling people and telling them excited how everything, that they have a great meeting, they think they're going to attract people into a presentation. That's not the case, because 90% of the time we are going to talk so much that the person thinks they have a full information. They are going to say no before they even see a presentation. It's why probably the skill, more powerful skill, is inviting people. It's why the scripts, inviting people to events. And we had the roadmap, the 3 to 3, etc. But this is in the business resources. And you say, and we have a lot of business resources. We have, again, the product training, and it's the same. The team presentation slides, that is the presentation that we have that you can download in your computer. This is the health professional slides. If you happen to be presenting and you are presenting to a health professional, scripts, there's another place where you find the scripts. You see, we have many different places, the pay plan explanation, and we have it in writing, and we have also the video. When you click there, oops, I went too far back. Oh, okay, let me go back. I don't know why I went so far back. Okay. Okay, let's start again, the business resources. I can went back. Up here, social media. This is a tab that we are going to be beefing up. As a matter of fact, just me, I'm going to do a series of presentation from the point of view of how we built to $8 million in income. And I'm going to go deeper in social media because that's a very important part of it. It's no, the reason it's very important. When I started, we didn't have social media. It's just that it has become a much easier way to reach people. Landing page, etc. Everything is here. You can start looking at this. Okay, let me get out of here for a second. Any questions about any of these tools that we have? Because I want to make sure that you see that we have the tools. And as you see, what about developing a video to take people through the process of starting? There is a video. Actually, in the starting out, there's a video that I didn't did. We probably had to, we can how to say, update it, but there's already a video there. There's a video when you click on the starting up, there's a link to a video on how to start out. And also, what I'm doing now, these presentations, they're always recorded, and you're going to find several onboarding from different point of view that show where everything is. But yes, there's already a video. Okay, any other question before I continue? All right, okay. Now let me show you something about social media, the reason it's so important. We sign up from a trip, our personal sign-ups. We sign up a few people, 3 people, from our trip to Florida. And this is the way that happened. It's very interesting. And I'm going to go to Facebook account. All right, let me share. And I'm using Facebook because still, even that a lot of people are in Instagram, etc., is a really cool place to find people. And we knew that we were going to be doing meetings in Naples, in Ocala, and in Venice, in the Southwest Florida. I kind of procrastinated. I didn't do the Ocala area. But what I did, I started finding who do I know? If I know anybody that's in Venice, and I say my friends who live in Florida. By the way, that's important that you ask it this way, because that's an algorithm that I discovered. They don't teach it. That's funny. They don't teach it on Facebook. I just was playing because I understand they are using a Meta, they are using AI, and I was wondering if some promptings can work. And this is a prompting that I did. Say, oh, let me see if it works. And when I click here, you see my friends who live in Florida say, oh, cool. See it all. And then I say, okay, what about people that live in Venice? Interesting. Let me see. And then they start looking for people that live in Venice, Florida. And by the way, I can put it also here. I think in Venice, Florida, I think I tested, and it came also. Let me see if I do it like that. Oh, yeah, they did it too. Okay, there are 2. One is signing up. I don't say who, but one of them. Now, I say, my friends who live in Naples, Florida. Okay. 2 sign up. There are a bunch there, by the way. Or 4. 2 sign up last night, 2 nights ago. Interesting, huh? And you can put it for every city. And by the way, one of the people that are there in that list, actually the 2 of them, I didn't know they were in Florida. The 2 of the ones that signed up, because I didn't meet them, neither one in Florida. One was living in another state for a year because he was working for a company that moved him for a year, but he always been in Florida. I didn't know that. And he was not my personal sponsor, somebody I met. And one time he said, it's okay, we can connect on Facebook. Sure. And we connect with Facebook. And that was the only time that I saw him in Utah, one time. But then I found out that he was in Naples, and he signed up last night, and 2 people signed up from Naples. You see what I put, my friends who live in blank. You can do it, by the way, with followers too. As a matter of fact, I posted on the right side. And that way, uh, you can copy from the chat. Aiden kind of mentioned this yesterday. And how connect with them? Very simple. I just send a message. Um, and the message I sent it was a voice message. Let me go back to what I was. I think I sent a message to both of them, but let me see. Okay. Listen, I wonder you can listen. Okay. Oh, it doesn't come up. The sound.
I happen to be in Venice. We are launching a new, we are launching Florida actually in our business. As you know, I used to be in ISA until a few years ago. We are launching this, we live in Texas, but we happen to be in Venice, and I found out by accident, I was checking around and that you are here. We have a presentation that we are going to have on Wednesday night. And if you want to know more, just send me a message. This is George Ruiz again, and I talk to you later. See ya.
It was, oh, by the way, and you see that she responded right away with her phone number. This is an example. You see how cool it is. And this is on top of the list of names that you call and you send messages. Because I send like 10 messages from people. In total, I send like, I would say 15 messages in Florida. 5 respond. It's about 30%. The other have not respond. Maybe they didn't receive it or something like that. Or the 5 respond, 3 sign up so far. This is me. Adrian signed up also, a person from the list. That would be 4. And 4 sign up of 15 connections that we did, and all of them respond. Now, I don't say that your numbers are going to be as high, because I was surprised that our numbers were so high. By the way, one of them couldn't come to the meeting because was not in Florida. She was in Nashville. But still, she signed up. That's one of the reasons I said it's so simple. And of course, I call people from my phone too, and one of them is signing up. We were going to meet with him. He got just surgery, is why you couldn't, but he's getting a position in R3, and he's a big networker. And I'm probably flying back to Florida, to St. Petersburg, to meet with him and other people in the next 30 days or something like that. But this is so simple. And now, hold on just a second, because my wife is calling me, and I will. Okay, but anyway, let me share now my screen. And the other side, when I mean in the other side, because I'm going to go through the basics right now. And that's something that is so important. That's what I do when a new person comes to me. Oh, as you see, I was explaining somebody. Okay. All right. All right. This is everything that you do. I'm going to put it like a triangle. You can put it in a different way. The heart of your triangle is your list of names. Your list of names, very important. Then you are going to know how to connect, how to present, and then follow up. Okay, follow up. Now, connect, present, and follow up. The list of names your heart is a living list. You're always adding people. You're always connecting with new people. Yesterday, Adrian was saying how to connect up to 10 new people on social media to get more people to your list. And there are many ways. She didn't go in details, but we are going to go more in details in future calls. As a matter of fact, I have the training on social media next Friday, how to get into groups, not only in Facebook, but also on LinkedIn, etc., how to attract people. But anyway, connect, present, and follow up. All the ones are important. We always hear that the fortune is in the follow up, but really it's in the whole process. The connection is very important because in connect is where you are inviting people to take a look. And the presentation, you don't have even to do it. But some people are afraid to connect with people because they said, I don't know how to present. But remember, you are working with your team. We are the ones presenting the recordings, like they are presenting so many tools to present. One of my friends, I met him in 2008. He's a legend in network marketing. He's a big trainer, etc. Today he's retired. He retired younger. Interesting about him, he has been the first year in network marketing, he was a totally failure. He couldn't sponsor a person even if somebody put a gun in his head. And then his upline found out why. He was talking too much. He was so excited. He never wasn't traditional in sales. He was a mechanic. And the upline, not the upline that sponsored him, he went to a meeting where this leader was talking. And he came to the leader and said, I don't know if this business for me, I can't sponsor anybody. But I talked to a lot of people because the guy is very enthusiastic, very nice, fun guy. And the guy said, I'm going to teach you one thing. If you learn only that one thing, you are going to be super successful. You have to become a director. And I said, what the heck is a director? And by the way, some of you have heard this story already before because I repeated many times. It means that you have to direct people to where the information is. Your goal when you connect with people is invite people, direct people to the information. It could be a live presentation. It could be a recording. Doesn't matter. Don't talk too much. If the person says, well, what is it? That's why I invited you, because I don't know how to explain it, but there is the whole explanation. If it's not for you, that's okay. And his numbers went way up. Last night, I was talking to this woman that signed up a week and a half ago with one of our team members. And she had in a Zoom, she has 9 people in the Zoom. And then I asked her, whoa, that was great. What do you tell them? Nothing. I just tell them, you know what? There's something amazing that I don't know how to explain it, but come to the presentation. Somebody is going to be there that's going to tell you what it is. And if it's not for you, we are going to be friends. But make sure you are there. And I say, how many people you invited? 12. Of the 12, 9 show into the Zoom. 9. Because she was not telling anything. And that's why that's a skill of inviting people. Eric Worre said too, the most important skill that you have to learn first is how to invite people. Oh, I don't know what happened. How to invite people to a presentation. You don't have even to do the presentation. These 2 people that we signed up for Naples were saying, well, I'm going to go through everything to know what to tell people. Just one thing, come to the presentation. Well, why they ask me questions? It's why you're brand new. It's like you are going to college for medicine, and then the first month of medicine, you think that you can tell people how, or you can do surgery on somebody. No, you're working with your mentors. You say you are not doing anything. First, you don't have a license. You are no medical doctor yet. But that's the same here. We tend to talk too much. That's why we turn off people. How do I know? Because I did it. I was talking so much before I was bringing people. And then what happened? We talk too much and people already think that they have the whole information. It's network marketing. I say, what do you mean about network marketing? Yeah, because I don't want to join network marketing. Well, this is like something that you had never seen before because it's true. Come to the call. If this is not for you, again, we are still friends. You cannot say no to something that you don't know. How many times you don't want to go to see a movie, and then after a movie you realize, geez, this movie was actually good. If you have followed the thinking, oh, I don't like that kind of movies, or I don't like kind of food, you will never learn something new. And that's the truth. That's the most important skill. And that's why the first thing that we have to make is making sure that we make that list of people. And then invite them, connecting them, of course, invite them to something. Could be a Zoom, could be, you see, they read my tool like like Z, like a 2. Well, the Zoom, you got it anyway. One-on-one presentation. C, a video presentation that we have many recorded. D, any kind of presentation of info. And when we are doing, remember that form where we are doing 30 people that we send them to that information? Eventually, we are going to be signing up people every week, even if it's only one, because our numbers are so big that imagine what would happen to your business if every week or every month you sponsor 1 or 2 new people. Your numbers start moving into your favor. And you are not alone on this. It's why it's so important that you're doing. And of course, 3 is presenting. And presenting again is all of the above. Zooms, a video, one-on-one, home presentation too. Etc., 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 etc. And by the way, home presentation. You invite people to your home and you say, you know what? I don't have a clue what to do. Set an appointment with us. We tell you how to connect your computer to your TV. We do help you to do the presentation while you have people on the living room. I wish I had something like this 10 years ago. We have the technology today. Almost every TV is a smart TV. There are sections, unless you have one of these huge consoles that weight like 200 pounds, that were only 17 inches or 25 inches. But today, you can present there. That's the way that we've been building in other places. When people say, I have 10 people in my home, and we do part of the presentation, on the screen, we are there. We are not there, but we are there. I call it a virtual home presentation. And we probably have to do more emphasis on that. I have a friend, she became the #1 distributor in another company, and 90% was because she was using virtual home presentation. Now, this was like 7 years ago when they still were not really popular yet. Oops. When the internet was starting to get through GoToWebinar and not many people had the access. She had to teach them how to buy the equipment, etc. You don't have to do that anything anymore because it's so simple. Technology is working in our favor. I know many times we are afraid of new technology. We are afraid of AI. We are afraid of all that stuff that's coming up. But at the same time, everything has 2 sides. Everything. It's like fire. You can use fire for warming up yourself, cooking something outdoors, but you can set on fire somebody else too. It depends how you use it. And that's the same thing with everything. AI technology has 2 sides. And that's, by the way that the world is. Everything has 2 sides. I'm going to show it to you. There's no way to get rid of a side that you don't like it. I'm going to do this example very quick. And I've been doing this example for years. Okay, I'm going to get out of the internet, because that way you can see it better. All right. Okay, I have a piece of paper here. And you say, you know what? I don't like this side. Oh, that's this one, because I don't like this side. I'm going to get rid of this side. I like right side at all. Holy cow. It still is there. No, okay, I'm going to leave this side. It still is there. There's no way to get rid of it. If you get rid of it, there's no life. Everything has to have balance. The light and the dark, the cold and the warm. I mean, everything has the 2 sides. A coin has the 2 sides. Everything has 2 sides. And this is the same with technology. We focus on the good side. That's why Dennis Wakeling, one of his trainings, City of Greatness, he said, we always have to make sure we are focusing on the right side of the coin. And in other words, our goal. Because there are 2 sides, but many times we are focusing on the other side, in the problem, not in the solution. You see, there are 2 sides, problem and solution. And that's why it's so important to focus on the positive of the technology. And yeah, we can be afraid of technology. We can be afraid of mathematics, math. Many people, I don't understand the pay plan. Math is too complicated. just get rid of that. Remember what we say at the beginning, like you are starting new, and then you're going to see the pay plan is not complicated. This is not a geometry problem or anything like that, or trigonometry or something way more complicated. It's very simple. But anyway, that's why right now your goal is very simple. It's like I said before, it's the basics is make your list, then you start connecting, and then of course make sure that you're inviting people. And inviting doesn't mean saying too much, presenting and follow up. The more you do that, the faster you go. Because and that, by the way, is on any career, any business. When we found a process, and this is a process, it's not a system. When we follow a process that's successful, and by the way, we do two more things. We teach others to do the same and repeat the process. Because we have to teach other one. And that's the way that we become really successful. And it's simple. Again, simple, and I say in the past, simple and easy are not the same. Simple is a simple process. Easy is something that it depends on the person. For some people, easy is something that for us is difficult. But the reason I say simple is because we are, and not easy is because we're fighting our old paradigm, our old beliefs. And that's what stops us doing something. When sometimes we are in events, and you probably have been in events, and somebody's on the stage and is excited, has been successful, and the person said, this was easy. But it was easy for that person because his paradigm was probably different. And it was easier to adopt to the simplicity of what we do, our system. But for some people, it's hard because they have an old paradigm. It's why my first year in network marketing, I was not doing well at all because I was doing it, trying to do it the way that I was doing real estate. And was totally different. I knew how to find people, but then in real estate, because we were working, looking for investors, putting together deals, etc., that was something complicated. I have some of those complicated graphics because I like numbers, as I say, complicated graphics, and people say, "Whoa, you're great," but I'm never gonna learn that. I say, "Oh shoot." That was not easy to duplicate because I was making it too complicated because that was my mindset. But the day that Mark Journal, I saw him in a presentation, he said, keep it simple, so simple that even an 8-year-old could understand it. Remember, the list, connect, present, and follow up. Keep it simple. The pay plan, the same thing. So simple that even a kid can understand. A kid can understand 2, bring 2 is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. It can understand. Get it in a simple way that even a 8-year-old can. And that's why when we get into that point and we started doing automatic, then it become easy. But it takes a while to get to that point, to become easy. And again, because we are fighting our old belief or paradigms of what we are bringing, because that's normal. That's normal. That's totally normal. Every person, there is a very famous saying, every master has been a disaster. That means that we are going to be a disaster before we are a master. In everything, by the way. In everything. Can you imagine if there was judgment when we were learning how to walk and falling and hitting the table? If we were adult with the adult mentality, probably we quit and say, you know what? I prefer to stay sitting here on the floor. I'm not going to hit myself at all. I'm going to be sitting here because they don't have that experience of the past. It's why the kids keep trying until one day they start walking. And that's just a very simple example. But that's the same with us. We have to keep trying. And some kids, by the way, walk very fast. Some kids start walking when they are 10 months old or less. Some kids wait a year and a half. And I've seen parents, oh, I'm worried about my kid. And suddenly one day start walking and running all over the place, the same kid. That's why, and that's the same with adults. But again, they don't have those paradigms that we have when we are growing up, those beliefs that many times are not the right beliefs. Like, for example, money doesn't grow in the trees, and those limitations that we are growing with, and that really are just programming. We've been programmed. It's funny because we talk about brainwashing. We've been brainwashed even by our parents, and they don't do it. Most of them, they try to do the best. And sometimes the thing that they are giving us, they are blocking us. Also our teachers are also. Hold on a second. I'm going to click. Okay. Yeah, my kids just got here. Thank you. One of the interesting things is that, like they say, kids, when they are born, they don't come with a manual, instructions manual. They don't, unless somebody says they don't. And even that we buy a book, etc., how to raise a kid, it's not the same that reading the book and helping with the kid, because you are in reality. And by the way, that's the same with the business. The fastest way to do the business is by being with other people when they are doing presentations, by seeing what they are doing. It's why in the past, when I started network marketing, I have a training on how to do a presentation. And I realized that most people don't learn from that. They learn when they are seeing the presentation and participating, even if it's just telling their story at the beginning. And again, the best way is for us to get involved. And the goal and the challenge right now, and I call it challenge, it's not really a challenge, but the goal for you today is to make sure that you follow those 3 steps plus the list, and start connecting with people, just inviting people. Even it's as simple as texting. Texting is a great tool. Texting, I have a friend that he's in another company too, that I've been trying to bring him here because I think the company is going to fall. And he built his whole business just texting people to get a connection first. And the text was simple. Hey, how are you doing? Let's connect. I have to talk to you. And was a voice text. And his goal was to have 20 a day. He went through his whole phone and all the people in Facebook, and he was sending voice texts. And then he was doing the presentation with his upline. That is a very famous legend in network marketing. Or sending people to a series of videos that they have for presentation like we have. And that's the way that he built most of his business starting out. And when somebody new was coming, say, okay, make a list of 20 people that you are going to text right now, voice text to your phone. And then the idea is, hey, no, you're not inviting anybody. Just, hey, how are you? I have to talk to you. 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 Basically, something's happening. I know I have not talked to you in a long time, but I was thinking of you. Something happened. I want to share with you. Because many of the people that we have on the phone, I have 3,000, I think it's 3,100. I don't remember how to get it. And many of them, I don't remember who even they are. And some of them, I have not talked to them in centuries. Well, not centuries, but since the 90s, last century, literally. But it's important to connect with everybody. It's one of the guys that I connect with him in 1995, the first time. The last time around 2001, finally we are in contact again, because I want to build the West Coast strong. I found in Facebook again who is in the West Coast. I connect with him, and I want to bring him into it because the guy is a powerhouse too. He's not in network marketing involved right now, but he's a consultant for business, very successful. But I know he had the little virus of network marketing, and he is in there somewhere, and to bring him back into the industry. But anyway, but that's important. Anybody, any questions?